Welcome and thank you for joining us on another episode of CNX Ambassador Foundation Live Chat. Our guest for today is Apostle Muyiwa Adeyemi. He's going to join us in any time from now. Thank you for joining in. Thank you so much. Brother Abiodun Joshua, Yetunde Omobayo, Cam TV, Sister Yemi, Kabiyesi Fast, thank you for joining us. Our guest for today will be joining us now. I pray we should have a good reception today. Ayobami Atonda, thanks for joining in. Oh, thank you. Kabiyesi Fast. Thank you for joining in, Cam TV. Gwen Ace 95, thanks for joining in as well. So let us check our guest again. I'm waiting for... Hello, sir.
Hello, good evening. How are you?
I'm fine. Good evening, sir.
Thanks very much, my brother. How do you do?
I'm fine. We are very well, bless God. And thank you for joining. Thank you for joining us today.
We bless God for everything.
Despite the fact of the lockdown, and I know in Nigeria it has been a bit of ease, but I know you are a very busy person, so we welcome you to today's program and we thank you for joining us.
Thank you very much, my brother.
Without taking much of your time, sir, because of our followers, our viewer with you, can you please introduce yourself, sir?
Yeah, my name is Apostle Muyiwa Adeyemi, has been known. I'm the Chief Public Relation Officer of the Cherubim and Seraphim Unification Church of Nigeria. I think among other privileged positions, at least God put me in the holy order.
Yes. Okay.
That's enough?
Yeah. We need to know your when you said the PRO of the church, Unification Church. We need to know more about you deep down in your role, even outside the church, sir.
Okay. If I talk about that, I think maybe I don't know how to summarize that. I think my name, as I said, Muyiwa Adeyemi. I was born in the 60s and the mid 60s.
Yes.
And I think my father is also, he died in CNS. Well, let me tell you frankly, I'm the third generation of the CNS in our family. My grandfather, my grandmother, they were all CNS. So my father, my mother also CNS. So I'm the third generation. Of that. In that. So I schooled. I went to primary school. I went to secondary school. I had my first degree in the university, and I had my second degree in the University of Lagos, UNILAG, Akoka. And I also trained as a journalist. I think in the BBC, at least my area specialization is to cover crisis and war. And I think I've been the Guardian ever since. Currently, I think I'm a Southwest editor of the Guardian newspaper. So that's where I work.
But that is exactly where we want you to mention. We want to hear.
Okay. So I'm the Southwest editor of the newspaper. I think that's a tabloid in Nigeria. I'm sure many people in Nigeria here will know what the Guardian stands for.
Yes.
So I think we thank God for what we have been able to do there since when we joined them.
Yes.
But God has been very faithful. In the Guardian community, they call me Apostle.
Apostle.
They call me Apostle. Even journalism, a lot of people call me Apostle because I think I always go around carrying the banner of Cherubim and Seraphim on my forehead.
Okay.
So we had the opportunity of traveling many places, meeting many people, whether current president or past president, being each of the job.
Yes.
So We are there, but as a journalist and editor, you are most constantly at the corridors of power.
Yes.
That doesn't mean you have that power, but you are the corridors of that power. So we thank God for that. So I've not done that job apart from journalism. I think since I graduated in 1991. And believe you me, I was telling somebody, even when I was in university, I at least I was in church. So Ogun State University Unification Chapel. So I played that role. I think so. I was one of the elders. I think at that level there. So the point I'm making is that I think since when I was born, I'd been in the church. When I was in school, I was in church. So when I graduated, I was in church. This is the only thing I think I say I missed going to CNS with. I don't know when you travel out of the country, you may not. But when you are in Nigeria, also when you travel to another part of the country, yes, you may not see one immediately where you are to fellowship. But any town, any country I go, and I see CNS there, and feel free. I'm at home. At least to worship with them. With them. Even when I was in Imo, I was in a one CNS church in Imo. When I went there now, I didn't hear what they were saying, but I was happy to be among them.
Okay.
So that's far as the church issues and is concerned. So as you know, I'm married.
Yes.
And have children.
Okay. Thank you. Yeah. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Without taking much of your time.
Yep.
The topic of today, which we want you to speak on, to talk about, misconception on white garment churches. Now it's not only about the cherubim and seraphim now, so we're talking about white garment churches as a whole. And because of the type of job that you do, what do you think caused this the genesis of this misconception about white garment churches? What do you think the root of this white garment, this misconception as a whole?
Yeah, I think when we are talking about the white garment churches in Nigeria, I think mostly to our environment here that I want to talk about. So we can talk about the cherubim and seraphim. We can talk about the Celestial Church of Christ. So we can talk about the Church of the Lord, Aladura. So those are the ones I think I can completely talk about.
Yes, sir.
Because I know that they have this Olumba in the eastern part of the country. They also wear white, but they are not within the kind of ambit of what we are talking about here now.
Yes.
So we find our scope and the limit of what I'm talking about. So I can completely say one or two things about white garment churches within that concept, within that defined, I think, scope. Okay. So I think when I'm talking of the root of the genesis of it, I think one of the first I understand is that, let's trace it. When Baba Moses Tolashi started this church, I think on the broader perspective now with other eminent elders, including Mama Captain Abiodun, I think in the 1930, 33, 34, 35, there was no misconception about CNS. Let's get that one clear. There was no misconception. Now, to 1945, 55, 60, 70, there was no misconception.
Okay.
To 1970. But immediately after Civil War, after the Civil War, things now begin to wear another color in Nigeria. In the sense that now we have other non-speaking Yorubas flooding Lagos. Okay. It was a pride of anybody to wear white in Lagos in the 70s, early 70s to late 70s. It was a pride. Even in the 60s. Go to Lagos, I think in the late 60s, 70s, you see everywhere white. Out of 10 people you see on the Lagos street, at least ask anybody, 4 must wear white. 4 out of 10 on Sunday.
You mean white garment?
White garments. Do you understand? Whether Church of the Lord, whether Sele, whether the CNS. So there was no misconception at all. But misconception started, if my history serves me right, I think by the early 80s. So when we begin to have non-speaking Nigerians, non-speaking Yoruba Nigerians flooding Lagos, a certain part of the country. One, when they came around, they did not understand Yoruba language. Mbati, some of them will say. Because they did not understand that Yoruba language, makes it difficult for them to join the CNS. After all, there's no way to worship elsewhere without understanding the language. I tried it twice or 3 times when I was in Katsina. Tried to worship with one church. I think it was forced to be, on a Pentecost day, right? But they spoke Hausa throughout. So I just, it was like somebody sitting down in prison for the 3 hours I was in that church. I could not understand what they were saying. The CNS also, when I went to Imo, that they entered one CNS church on Sunday, what they said there for that, because they spoke only Igbo language. For 3 hours I was in that church, it was like a dumb person, right? But when I see them kneeling, I was kneeling down, I see them clapping, but the song, the preaching, the announcement were all done in Igbo language. It was in a way. But so I'm now using that one now to talk to our brothers, I think our fellow Nigerians or whatever here, that did not understand our language. Fine. So they now begin to have a misconception what they did not understand. So they begin to conjecture various reasons for the church. A kind of a church they are not used to. Some of these guys were used to Catholic, they were used to Anglican, they were used to Methodist, that kind of thing. But when they came here, this will be their first encounter with a spiritual church. So they did not understand our language. They did not understand the culture. They don't understand what we say, what we do, what we sing. They understand. And with that one now, out of ignorance, a lot of misconceptions were going on. And when that one started, some elements, they even had understood our language because they are not CNS, bought into it as well. Right? I'm saying. And let me if I'm not taking your time.
Yeah,
around this concept, right, when this was going on, Redemption Church of Christ started Baba Akindayomi, who was a strong CNS member, eternal for that matter, right? Started Redemption Church of Christ. He was only Yoruba speaking entirely. You understand? But understanding that ethnographic nature of what is going on. So when Adeyemi came there, being literate, being a university lecturer, he started what they call a mega church. Some speaking Yoruba, some speaking English. And before you know it, this English-speaking Redemption Church were flooded by either Yoruba or not Yoruba. Once you speak English from African country, they found it comfortable to go because they speak what? They speak English. Now, ask people. I don't know anywhere in Lagos now that you see the Redemption Church of Christ speaking Yoruba again, right? And when they changed that, when there was that paradigm shift, they had classical, they have the other, I think the one that's speaking English, right? But now the one classicals that are supposed to be speaking Yoruba, you don't see anybody speaking Yoruba there now. You understand? Even if their pastors are not coherent in English, you understand? They will still say it. I have one in front of my house there. The man sell paints. So then he started the Redemption Church of Christ in Yoruba. But when he could not muster enough people, right, at the congregation, the man is now learning to speak English language. Don't mind the flaws. Don't mind the sentences. Other correct. But it's swift. It's really change the code to English. What I'm saying. So with that one now, he allows people of different ethnic nations, whether Benue, whether Hausa, whether Bioma, whether Yoruba, to join the church. But that is area where we lacked in CNS. You understand? In that area that we suppose, in that 70s and late 80s, that we suppose at least to quickly see the church beyond, I think, Yoruba cultural speaking church. You understand? And before our elders to quickly readjust. In that regard, there were a lot of centripetal forces that put us apart, right? So no, I'm this, I'm that, I'm this, I'm that, I'm this, I'm that. And the major challenges we face in this public, we could not come together at least to address it. But thank God, when Unification came, there had been attempts that, do you understand, at least to begin to solve some of these problems. But again, we have not completely solved the problem of making CNS attractive, attract and accessible to non-speaking Yoruba people. And until we do that, the issue of misconception, I think will continue. I'm a journalist. There was a day, I think I met somebody that he had his church in Ejibo. And the man who considered blasphemy, is an Igbo man at the church, but speaking English. The man expressed an ignorance to the extent that he was saying CNS don't know, they don't use Bible. But the only thing they do is that when they go to church, they clap until they begin to fall on themselves. After clapping now, they ask the missionary and Adeyemi to come and speak. After that one now, they pour water on them, they pour anointing, they collect money, and they go home. So he said they don't use Bible. He never worshipped there. He didn't know anything about it, and they continue to express ignorance and confidence around. So we have many. So, but by and large, until to solve the problem, no, you have not asked me that, but we have to solve the problem until we begin. One, as we said, if you see the communique we issued, the Seraph Media, we said that there were next meeting we did, where we submitted our reports of the last year that summit we did, and we enjoy all the constituent churches to start and establishing English-speaking branches.
Okay.
To me, it's going to be very. I think it's going to be very, very good in Lagos for anybody starting, Lagos especially, Abuja and some wherever now, in Eastern wherever now, that if you are starting a church, that let it be English speaking. We have our hymnals in English. The Bible we use is in English. I don't see, because an English language of commerce, whether we like it or not, the new generation we are looking up now, everything sadly you see anybody that 10, 15 years, 20, 30 years that will not speak English, no matter if only bastardized English will copy here. Right. So, but if you continue to stay glued to Yoruba, and suddenly you are closing Hausa man from being a member of your church. If you say all churches are we are still working on Yoruba, you are stopping a Yoruba man to worship with you. You are stopping a Yoruba man from worshiping with you. So, but for us, I think to solve this problem, we must begin to reach out to people in other languages. Again, you see some churches now, they find it difficult to interpret sermons on their Sundays. Just to interpret in English. The announcement, they don't interpret. But we have some churches that, yes, they make available both English and Yoruba hymnals available to their members, right? But those ones you see, yes, few of non-speaking Yorubas to be there. But to solve this issue of misconception, which yes, I will suggest to you, we must let people know what we are doing by speaking the language people understand more now. That even some of us that are Yorubas, how many of our children are speaking Yoruba fluently now? So because Yoruba is not language of commerce.
Yes.
Everybody's language of commerce. You can't score A1 in Yoruba language now and say you want to enter university with it. So you must score CCs in English. Now, I think if we try to solve this problem by all constant churches, I mean constant churches that if Eternal will now say, okay, let's start one English church in Ikoyi, in Abule Egba, today, movement will do that, Sacred will do that, worshipers will do that, what call it, society will do that. You know, if all this Zion, Waterside, Zion will do that. So if we begin to do that, then we will see that we begin to have more, I think, a lot of non-speaking Yorubas attend churches, understanding what we are doing, and solve the problem of this misconception.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, sir, because now we can learn a lot with this few things that you break down to us. And we understand the genesis, the roots of the misconception of this.
Yes.
Now, I noticed when it comes to the Unification Student Fellowship,
okay,
I noticed their performance is so 100. I mean, I will give them 100%.
Okay,
all
thank
the
God.
Unification Campus Fellowship that I've come across, excuse me, sir, I can see that they were, even in church, anywhere they were perfect. But the moment they came out from university or polytechnic, we discover that they don't really want to, the spirit in them from the Unification Campus Fellowship, they did not take it back to their home church. So what do you think to that area? Is it because the main church, when they are back home with their parents, is it the main church don't give them more opportunity, or what? Because we discover, sometimes when people finish from university, a lot of people, maybe they got married, they got married, they went outside where they were living. Some people might not even go back to White Garment Church no more. So, and some people that managed to remain in the church, we discovered that they did not have any say. The kind of spirit they were using during their students' fellowship campus, they don't have that kind of spirit any longer when they come back to their own churches. So what caused that area? Why that is happening?
I think I can as well speak from my experience. I graduated, I think, in 1991, and there now I played a very active role in, I think, in unification in my church. All right. My background from when I came there, I went to university from the Sacred CNS Church Ebenezer Model Abeokuta. From there, I went to university. And as the case may be, by the time I finished, I think I came to Lagos. When I got to Lagos, by providence and family influence, I found myself in Etana. Right. And lo and behold, the expectation I had, I found it extremely difficult, at least, to stay in Etana. Extremely difficult. I'm being sincere with you. In fact, when I first came, I found it very, very easy and convenient to fellowship at CNS Movement Church, Surulere, Ayoniu. Because 60% of those who constitute our church member were from that singular church. Right? Were from that singular church, 60%. So, and somebody coming from Abeokuta, coming to Lagos, and you see a church that even when they were doing concerts, they have been coming. So I found that particular church very interesting. Because very progressive. They have youth fellowship, they have youth church, do you understand? They speak English, dance, they do their own, right? No, because the elders may not allow them to exercise at least the kind of innovation. So the church was so clever, immediately they let them have their own youth fellowships. And if you go to Ayoni today now, their youth church, I'm talking of the Surulere branch, the church, do you understand? You see it more elegant, more of these days than then, right?
Yes.
Because I go to what I experienced. And immediately I got there, and I think my colleagues there and there now quickly introduced to Baba Fakeye, who to have me being a journalist. I was already in Guardian then. I think to incorporate me into their media. The old man told me then that they were doing well in electronics, but they were not doing that well in the print. So me being a son coming now, it wants what I can do in the print.
Okay.
But the family pressure, sentiments, and drove me back to Etana, right, which was our road. So I had to go. It was, I found myself as, let's say, as a fish out of water. I got there in my own branch there, not the whole time, in my own branch in that because in that church there was no single graduate, right? So each time you try to suggest any new way of doing things in a classical and modern way, how it should be, Ogbo will not be there. Do you understand? So you face attack here and there. But because of somebody kind of person I am, what I want to do, I do it. Because I'm convinced. Do you understand? So I was able to stand the pressure. Do you understand? And change the orientation. So people had to leave the church when the pressure was hot. Because we changed many things. We changed many things. I thank God I have a brother who was a graduate then. We were there together. We can lose a brother, Moses Agike. So with me, we were able to change many things. You understand? So with that one, not many youths have the kind of capacity to do that. They go back to different churches where their people will tell them, no, this is how we have been doing since 1930. You cannot come back and begin to use Muyiwa, right, to change things. No, we don't do this way. This is how you must sew your uniform. This is how you must tie your amure. This is how you must sit down. This is how you must stand up like Pharisees. And unknown to them, nothing is static in this world. And I used to tell people of my generation, if you are telling me that is level, my father knows God, that I should stop at where, you are insulting me, and I will not take it. At least when my father gave birth to me, his first prayer that I must be greater than him. I must be greater than my father. So if my father knew God 50%, I must increase my understanding of God to 70%.
Yes.
And every day we keep on knowing God. Every day we keep on knowing God. Now we are talking like this. You are in London, I'm in Nigeria, we are talking now. I think I know about 2 or 3 people are actually from US that have to send the link. They want to join us. I'm sure they have joined us as well. Like this. We are saying that at least we are from different continents, several millions of kilometers or miles away. This is not during our fathers.
Yes.
Will you tell me now that what my father did in 1933, I must do it as well like that way? It doesn't happen. No society develops that. No society or the church develops like that. So and these people will begin to tell you, oh, this must be done. It will bring any little innovation. They will see you as rascal that must be stamped out from the church. So with that one, they were able to force many of our youth outside the church. They sent them packing. No, you cannot come and teach us. No, this is not about books. This is not about academics. This is not about knowledge. This is spiritual matter. And spiritual matter, and they asked them some questions they will never answer. Right. So until to address that matter, a youth that is determined, I say,
yes,
can with maturity, understanding, and show that leadership skill, through, bring reforms to his church. Then a youth that himself is respectful, and it's discuss the leadership by example. You are telling them, your church member, not to come late to church. You also must not come late to church. If you are telling them they should not fornicate, they should not marry 3-4 wives. Don't let them see you with 3-4 girlfriends. If you are telling them, please, there's wrong for you to start drinking beer or gogoro in church, you also don't touch it at all. So your life must be an example. As Paul said that we are the books that people read. So people read you. I haven't done that, so we must be determined to do that, not by physical, not by anybody. But by persuasion, by show the way, they will understand. The secondly is that our elders must understand that nothing is static in this world. Listen carefully. This present coronavirus matter we are into now will change many things in the world.
Yes.
The way, whether you like it or not, you can agree to stay where you are, and millions of people will pass, and millions of events will pass through you. Things can never be the same again in the world, not only in Nigeria. Let me tell you something. We had the next meeting of Unification for the first time on Zoom because of this coronavirus. I have to admit with you, we achieved everything we wanted to achieve. Within 2 hours, we hold that meeting on Zoom. I mean, that meeting now, most of our NEC member in Abuja, in Port Harcourt, in Imo, in Nasarawa, are beginning to advocate that is it not better for us to be holding the meeting on Zoom? Because we achieved without this book traveling down to Lagos. Then why can't we do it? Do you understand? Are we not changing things? So things will begin to change. For someone to tell us that, oh, you can't do that, oh, and like in the period of our babas, they must see themselves. Are we not seeing ourselves? I can see your beards.
Yes.
Understand? So must I touch you? When you say we are talking, right? So our elders, our babas, with due respect, have they been something that's good during their generation, and they should know that things are changing, not static. Yes. So they should listen to this, our youths, only with innovation, with technology. I think with what they are doing, let them listen to them. So if you do that, and that's what can at least secure the future of the church. The youths are the future, whether we like it or not. They are. Some things that let's say some things that they like when they were youthful, but it's not the same thing now. So the use of nowadays will like, right? Not the same thing, but the fundamentals still remain that we are CNS. But certainly it cannot be the way our father did in 1993. No. It's an insult to us.
Yes.
An insult.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And I still have about 3 more questions here.
Okay, no problem.
This is how people within the church living in rural area change their mindset in regards to doctrine and practice. For example, we see something like a few weeks ago about a woman in white garment. We should understand that some people, they don't know the difference between the Celestial Church members, the Cherubim and Seraphim Church member, the Church of the Lord Aladra member, as long as we put on this why. Right. So when we find someone that put 10 years old baby child inside the sack and with chain. Are you with me? They put the child inside the sack with chain on child leg for almost 10 or how many days. So how people in rural area can change their mindset regarding to doctrine and practice?
You know, let me clarify something here. The doctrine of CNS is very clear, right? The doctrine of unification is very clear of CNS. It's well written down. The doctrine is a manner and the ways you do things. It's simply theological terms of how you conduct yourself, what you do, don't believe in, right? But there are a lot of things people do outside the doctrine. Do you understand? Based on their level of ignorance, their level of education, and the environment in which they are. Do you understand? That's outside the doctrine of the CNS. Right? The doctrine is about how to do the belief system. What do we do? Do you understand? So what do we do? Yes, we sing. We pray. Right? We pray. We use anointing. We use water. Yeah. Do you understand? That's our doctrine. But anything outside that one is not our doctrine. Do you get my point now? Yes. But on one, you know, the problem we have is this. This is a church that anybody, please, Anybody, I mean, anybody. Once he had vision one day and it come to pass, or he dreamt one day and it comes to pass, will tomorrow start his own church, our own church. Whether she or he understand the Bible very well or not. So nobody regulates who starts the church. And whether you like it or not, if you didn't put it under your branch, right? If it's under your branch, you have set up rules and regulations. The person must have, let's say, fulfilled. But if you didn't call it, if you didn't put it in your branch, just call it one name. One Tayo and Co or Erila Balaba CNS Church. But and it's not under anybody. It will continue committing that source because it's a freedom of the Constitution allows for freedom of religion. So what do you say? What do you do? Nothing. Right. But what I will always suggest and tell you that by constant education, constant education, one. And those, Paul says, those that have seen the light, those that have enjoyed the salvation should show others. Right. So those who knows their right from the left, should educate those people. So by enlightenment, by every time making them to understand their follies. Do you know what I'm saying now? So with that one, you begin to now see how people change their way of life. It's a way of life. Okay, let's say some people now, there's a part of this country, they will tell you that when a child is a banje, or whatever now, they say they have to turn through them in the evil forest or commit kind of a murderous attitude. That's community, the cultural value of that community. So when I was doing that now, how is that becoming CNS doctrine? It's not CNS doctrine. It's not doctrine. You can point now. So that's the environment. You understand? Some people now, you see some cultures they bring in. That's not doctrine. But it's our culture. That's fine. So we'll be able to, until we begin to separate culture from doctrine and make our people to adjust strictly to the doctrine. But again, is that with freedom of religion, well, I think people can commit any havoc. They want to, once the church is not under you. Before we started this program, I have one of my younger brothers is in US. It was referring to kind of blasphemy somebody in US wearing white committing. Right? At least he's also an apostle. My brother is an apostle in US, right? And he's telling me so what some of their prophets were doing, that's fetish. He was telling me. And that in US, even that some of them simply made white like kind of an enterprise, at least to make money. So they are wearing white and according to the prophetess to make money, not to evangelize. Do you point now? Those are not community, right? But the truth is that I don't know. We have a lot of crisis here and there in the image on those who the few bad eggs we have. I do understand perfectly that the Constitution of Education is undergoing review now. Right. So with that review, I also want to strongly believe that maybe that review, who and the trusted hands were there, because the legal advisor of the church is the Certificate of Nigeria, Ole Taiwo. So he's very sad, one of the best lawyers we have in the country, and he's a strong member of the Holy Order. I think the deputy minister in charge of his own local branch. So he was born CNS. So by the time they finish that constitutional review, I want to we can have a constitution that will give us a bit of legal bite. Do you understand? At least sanction to deal with some of the few bad eggs we have. And I will not say it. I think with the influence of our mother, Reverend Mother Esther, Dr. Abimbola Ajayi, our influence have changed things tremendously in this putting let people know our true identity, our true color. That branding and reshaping, she has done a lot for us to the extent that I too had confidence now wearing my white to travel.
Hallelujah.
No, I'm telling you,
Yes.
I've never done that. But
Yes.
because I see her doing it, you understand?
Yeah.
And I think I remember when we were going to Jerusalem, where I followed that. We
Yes.
are white. So now you can also use that. Can I see me at international airport wearing white? You
Yes.
understand? My wife never achieved of that. Even without some more respect that people are giving us. Even the last time we traveled, if you see the way the immigration, we are not supposed to be in first class. You know
Yeah.
where business class people for their
Yeah.
immigration clearance.
Yeah.
We flew economy, but immediately that those immigration guys took us to at least the executive side, at least for clearance. They will
Yes.
know, you understand, they respected that white in us, and the way they cleared us, the way they respected us. I know even some people that we went together now, they were not on white.
Yeah.
They was that when we left the airport about 2 hours when we left the airport, they were still there undergoing through the normal routine immigration. Do you understand? What I'm saying? But if because it's because of madam that what I saw, because of that, you see me, my wife will be in my back, right? But now I think flying you and your wife alone in
Yes.
such a international flight, what the passenger will be, and it's only two person wearing white. Even the hostess, if you this kind of respect they gave us, no, I said, how am I not missing for not wearing white since these days? Do you understand?
Yes.
But I'm telling you the truth, my brother. No, we must sincerely every time recognize our human role. I don't think there's any you woman, but the human role she is playing in rebranding,
Yes.
in repackaging,
Yes.
and telling the world who we are and who truly we are.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. He is the one that gave us also the inspiration
Good.
that the CNS Ambassador Foundation that she's the one that gave us the inspiration and she's behind us and we thank God for what God has been using her for. And we say may God continue to strengthen her.
Amen.
The question I have for you, I know today we just have 16 minutes more. I
No
know
problem.
we might not finish it because I don't want to take much of your time. But I know
Okay.
at some point, you are still going to come back because you already opened our eyes to a lot of things now. And I know at
Any
some
day,
point, you're
any
still
day,
going to
brother,
come
we are
back.
together.
Yes, so when you mentioned about the Constitution, yeah, how can we make our Constitution, how do we make the church Constitution available for all to see? Because when the Constitution is not, even some members don't even know that the CNS church has a Constitution. So how can we make that Constitution? Yes, some people don't know. But if you make it, how can we make it available for all? Something that is available. So that people will get to know more about the doctrine and practice. So how can we make it more?
I told you is the new one is in the works.
Yes.
The old one we are using now, I'm sure that if you log into the website of Unification, it
Okay.
ought it ought to be there. It ought to be there, but certainly whoever needs the few printed copies available, we can still get in the secretariat.
Okay.
But I would rather advise that we hold on a bit more to the new
Okay.
one.
New
Because I
one.
think
Okay.
why let's compare comparative analysis of the new and the old. Do you get what I'm saying now? So that's why we need the old. But if for the purpose of the church that some of us will need it for, why not wait for the new one? And I can assure you that as soon as the new one is available, I will ensure that it's uploaded. I think on the church websites that people can download it from there and make use of it as they wanted to use.
Okay. So we should we all be waiting for the new
Please do. At
constitution.
least
Yeah. Okay.
because a lot
Yeah.
of things.
So
You know what? Let me tell you something. In a couple of years now, let's say 4 or 5 years, a lot of things have changed.
yes.
Right?
Yes. Yes.
Programs have been incorporated. Unification, I think, has reached a stage we never thought it would reach in the next 20 years. So with that one, a lot of intrigues, a lot of issues came up that the constitution must take care of. Right. Now, youth fellowship, as we said initially, they are doing fantastically well. The campus fellowship we talked about, they are doing fantastically well. But they had not been recognized under the old constitution. And that is the future of the church.
Yes.
So the new constitution is taking care of those ones. Then, we have campus fellowship. Now that all our NYC want to travel to some of these northern states and eastern states, that we have accommodation for them there. The structure, so we catch them as good. We provide support for them. My daughter served in Cardinal State, right? Immediately she got to Canada, she felt she was warmly welcomed by those people. Even for a whole year in Kano, she was posted to Tudunwada in Kano. I think for this service comes about 1 hour to Kano City. But every weekend he has gone back to his family in the Unification in Kano from Tudunwada. That's why she spent her weekend. Throughout her service here. Do you get what I'm saying? So we are providing homes for them anywhere they are. But all those things also must be in the constitution or part of those things we do. So that the constitution certainly will take care of all those new things we have now and those things we envisage. Listen, but again, by the time we completed the university, if you go to my bar, you see things already there now, right?
Yeah.
You must take cognizance of those ones, right? The university, by the time you finish university, Muslim University in Umuaron, work is going on rapidly, right? Do you understand what I'm saying? So by the time you finish it, let me tell you something. A lot of people that have not been that active, are now becoming active.
Active, yes.
A lot of churches that were looking at education from distance, are coming in to join. So there must be a constitution that will regulate our activities. The time trusted one. Do you know what I'm saying? So that constitution, I'm sure, by the time they finish it, and because I said those handling it, they are the best hands we can talk about.
Okay. Now, lastly, because I'm just going to give you just 5 minutes for this side. I'm very sorry, sir. Do we have it in mind to have a patent logo for the church? Because presently, I know the Unification have a logo, but as a whole, now when there is a new Unification, the old church now should have a patent logo that will make people to identify this is Cherubim and Seraphim Church.
You know what? We have logo. That logo, I think the area the constitution also must look into. Let me say this. And which we must see way, because we call it CNS, Church of Nigeria, right?
Yes.
And the CNS is all over the world.
Yes.
So the constitution must take cognizance of that one.
Yes, sir.
Right? Because we must one church, one body. We must be.
Thank you.
Good. Secondly, the logo, whether the one we are using now or another one will come out, depending on what those people suggested, will be made available to everybody. Pata pata. Do you understand?
Yes.
And thirdly, is that in the Solar Summit we said, we recommended that even our logo now, I think it is not that popular because each churches hold on to our own logo.
Thank you.
And you know what? If you go anywhere, you see a dove looking down. The church you see.
Yes.
If you go around and you see rainbow, yes. Understand? Good. But we are now saying that our logo, the Unification logo, that's the suggestion that we made, recommendation of, should constantly be on the left-hand side of any printable document.
Yes.
On that side. And the logo of the local church, of local constituent unit, should be at the right.
Right.
So, meaning that if from the first distance I see any signboard and I see that Unification logo there, I know that this is our church. I can enter.
Yes.
But if I see your local logo, I may not understand it.
Thank you, sir.
And while driving past, I may not know that it's a CNS church. Yes. Right? But there's no way I see that cross in that yellow background we do. You understand? Yes, now, if I 5 or 10 kilometers, I don't know this is our church, I will look at it again.
Yes.
You understand? Yes. So that's our recommendation. In which we will still pass through the neck, we'll still pass through the experience council meeting before the final approval. But if they do that, I think that would be the beginning point of that we are talking about and identity, because it matters a lot, right?
Yes.
So and there's no way we are talking about branding. You understand? There must be a particular thing that at least that brings all of you together. And once you see that sign, this is. If I see the calendar, if I print any printable document, if I see a signpost, I don't know this is our church, and everybody will look up for that one on the left hand side. So it's still a proposal, but let's see what our fathers will do with it.
Yes. Thank you so much. Thank you for your time with us. We still have questions.
No problem.
But
no problem.
We are going. What we do, because if you only have 7 more minutes, then we cut off. But what we do now is we are going to allow you to come back maybe in the next 2 weeks, so that we are going to speak to us more pertaining to this misconception, and then the few questions that people send in, so we can ask you. We thank you for your time. We've learned a lot from you with your experience, and we pray that God in His infinity mercy continue to be with you, to be with your family. And the next time we will talk about your daughter, the lady, the University of Ibadan student that recites Psalm 119 in Mava. Yeah, to be said. So when you come back, then I still lots to say, but we are going to love you now, and we are going to leave you, and we at some point you are going to come back and speak to us more. So we are going to say thank you so much for your time with us.
Thank you very much.
And we pray that God continue to strengthen you, sir. And thank you for your fatherly advice all the time. Every time that we see you in Nigeria, the way you give us advice and your support we thank you so much.
You are truly our ambassador. So I love you. I love you. You are doing well.
Yeah, we
God bless you.
We thank God.
You know what? Your philanthropic work is
doing.
You so much. Your philanthropic work is going well. I was proud the other time when your people came presented about, I think, with clothing materials. You understand? Some of the elders. Wow. You know, I think I said that's good. I know I was very happy with it. Continue doing it, all right?
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you. We bless God.
And again, the other time, the medical outreach in the medical outreach in Mushin, you know.
Mushin,
and I said,
thank you.
We are looking for one in Kotun area of Lagos.
Yeah, we are coming. It could have been there if not because of the COVID. But
good.
By the grace of God, at some point, we are going to reach out to you, sir. That area.
Good.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
God bless you. God bless you. I'm grateful.
Thank you. All right. Then.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.
So thank you everybody for watching us today. Tomorrow we have our young sister Esther Mountain is going to be in spiritual song tomorrow. So please, everybody should join, and we have special host for her tomorrow. Thank you, and may God continue to bless each and every one of us in Jesus' name. Bye.
Amen. Bye.